is Art from marketingblog.com, and I'm here with Jamie Lewis. This is a special interview for you guys because Jamie is actually going live with his newest product, and he will tell us all about it. So, Jamie, thanks so much for doing this. I know that you're a busy guy, so welcome to the show. And just maybe tell us a little bit about the idea for the product. What is it about, and who can it help?
Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on here, Art. Appreciate it. I'd say that this product was culminated together for the need to find those real intricate niche products. You know, those weird niches that can kind of fly under the radar, so they're not as competitive, and you can get your feet wet or whatnot, so to speak, and then do much better than you would if you're promoting something really competitive. Like when I first got started, that's how I was able to kind of break into the market. I tried the other, competitive stuff that was the top selling stuff and all of that. And my success came from really those niche products in the beginning. And then you move your way up from there, you know?
Yeah, and the cool thing is that you're actually sharing not only your strategy, but also your students, right? So this will work not only for you, because sometimes you get these products with these amazing results, but it's only for the top gurus that sometimes it works like this. But it works for you, it works for your students, it can work for anyone, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing with this one is this is the pro version. And the big difference is that I was able to work with my students for a few months with these weird niches, right? And this is what came of it, was a more streamlined and optimized software bundle with the instruction, everything we learned from, when newbies are working with it. It's a little bit different because when I'm working with it, as I have for 15 years now, it's hard to understand sometimes for me what a newbie is going through and the roadblocks that they're coming across, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm always very in touch with them, and I learn a lot from it, and in return, I'm able to make things better based on what they need. You know what I mean?
It's actually funny that you said 15 years because I remember when I got into making money online back in 2012. I remember you were already like a big ClickBank seller. Like I don't know if you made millions by that point, but probably you're a big shot back then. So I remember like going for ClickBank, seeing your products. So it's actually pretty crazy that we're actually having this interview right now, and we actually met in person like a couple of years ago. So
Yeah.
this make money online thing, you can start in your basement or just working from your laptop like I did, and then you never know where it's going to go, especially if you know which products to use and which systems to use. And yeah, like I remember I was really, really struggling because I was promoting the opposite. So I was promoting all the stuff that like the W's of the day, which essentially you're competing with 50 to 100 different affiliates on every single promotion, which is hard when you're new to all of this. So that's why I really like this idea of just going after these weird niches. So what would be like a weird product that you promoted?
I've promoted everything from like airline parts to all sorts of stuff. Of course, there's small, medium, and large, I guess you'd call it, right? So the small ones are like like model numbers of obscure items, and in the info niche world, of course, those are all of the little niche problems that people have, and then therefore someone on ClickBank, a vendor on ClickBank's written a book or a system on how to fix that problem. I put out like a lot of documentaries that, or like kind of case studies, right, or the story of the whole thing. And in there, a few of the takeaways were parrot training, right, singing lessons,
All
stuff
right.
like that. But then you get into the mediums, right? It's like get your X back, seized card databases, stuff like that, right? And then the big ones, of course, are like weight loss and business opportunities, stuff like that. So, and it was funny, I kind of moved up that ladder too. So it was 2004 to 2009. I was doing the small and the medium, and then the medium ones. And then 2009 is when I started to teach the stuff, you know? So I wasn't really one of these people who come into the industry and were like, you know, hey, I'm an expert now. I've been doing this 2 months or something. It took me about 5 years to get to that point where people are like begging me to release information and stuff. You know, they were like, how did you do that? You know, how do you build all these sites, and how do you do all these articles, ranking, you know, asking me questions like that. And YouTube had just started to blow up, and I had some really good case studies with YouTube too. So, but a lot of them were in these weird niches. You know, like sometimes it's like um, a movie review, right? Like Amazon, you know, it's promoting on Amazon or whatnot. A movie review, but of like a documentary, like some cult classic documentary. Those work really good because there's so much buzz, but at the same time, there's not like all the major competition getting in your way. I also partnered with somebody, and we did like lose man boobs, and that
Good niche.
that niche actually, that we changed the name to Chest Coach, and that's a huge product now in ClickBank. But it started off as we seeked out, you know, what has zero competition but has like this really strong you know, demand, right? So those are some of the ideas, you know, some of the niches that I've, you know, and the experience I've had with them. And
Yeah, and the cool thing is that, you know, like you said, like there's or no competition, or the people that are promoting these products, they're not professional marketers, right? So if you're gonna use your system, you're just gonna outrank them every single time because they don't know what they are doing, and everyone using your system will use the same exact tools as you are using, which means that you're just gonna go to the top every single time, right?
yeah, I mean, it's like tried and tested to the point where in the pro version, we worked to really kind of bypass traffic sources where people would get frustrated and get kicked off and get booted. So that's one of the main differences now. It's one of the only problems that people were facing was, you know, hey, this is great, this is great, this is working, I made my first money. And then it's like, oh man, I got banned, you know, and that a lot of people experience that, you know. It takes most people, it takes them such a long time because they're trying to do the big ones, and then they get their hands maybe on, you know, some they get into a trend or they get lucky or something like that, like something, the right timing, and they make their first money, but then they find out they're like, oh man, you know, I should have had this, or I should have had that, you know. And so that's why it's kind of like impossible. It's the type of thing where it's like impossible to fail, you know, because of all of those kind of, you know, you're bypassing all your challenges pretty much, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I always say to my guys, like, you have to start small and just get that one small win, and then you're just gonna essentially prove to yourself that this work, and then you can scale it up with paid traffic or whatever. But you know, don't go after these big crazy, you know, $1,000 per sale commissions. You know, if you're gonna start small, if you even if you're just gonna make $5,
Yeah.
right, with your first sale, that will just prove you that the concept works, and then you just can work your way up from there. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
too. Yeah, the
definitely
price.
the way to go. Super quickly, listen, Jamie, I know that you're super busy. Just tell us about the OTOs and maybe the pricing and then when it goes live.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll be going live on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and to get in, it's like 1995 to get in, and then after that, it'll be if you want to get the unthrottled OTO, which will just allow you to have unlimited searches, um, that you can jump into that. That's $47, and then the second OTO, if anybody's interested, it's an ability to build sites. So you can, you know, with the push of a button, you use all my templates and you can launch those sites, or you can just turn around right away and flip all of them. And that's one of the really cool features with it, because a lot of other site builders, it doesn't allow you to do that, but you can like download through the FTP and everything. You know what I mean? And then you can jump into the ability to like create income systems with the OTO3. And then You can also jump into the paid training. Like you get into my training once a week, and then I actually actively sell for people on the paid training. Like, so for instance, I'm not only going to hold your hand in those mastermind meetings, but I'm also going to kind of advertise for you and shout out your affiliate links. And it's worked really well because also there's replays, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, get me in that, because in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, I'm like, hey, check out Bob's affiliate link, right? And then, or their domain name or whatever they're selling. And then people all over the place are buying through them. And that's how I've gotten students kind of like that first magical experience that you were talking about. You know what I mean?
Very cool.
Yeah, and then you can jump into downloads, right? And you can download pretty much everything that I have, right? Like all like video sales letters and campaigns and you know, software resale rights, all that good stuff, you know? So that, yeah, that's pretty much the upgrades. They're all kind of really good accommodators to the front end, you know?
Cool. So, guys, I actually have a full written review and a full video review. So everything that Jamie just mentioned is on my blog, so you can go through all of this if you want to in your own time. Jamie, have any last things to say, like maybe a quick tip for anyone that is just starting out?
Yeah, I would say, you know, there's two different types of people. There's creative people, and then there's mathematical people. And a lot of the time what really works is, you know, if you're ever going to spend your money or time on something, and just the first thing to do is realize if you're one of those mathematical people or creative people. If you're mathematical, then you'd spend your time or money on kind of compensating for that and investing in creative. You know what I mean? Now, if you're creative, then it's the opposite. You know, you'd spend your time or money or your energy, that's really important too, investing in the mathematical side. You know what I mean? And that's actually, I never really put it in those words before, so that's a first. So I think that's spot on. That'd be a really good thing for people to take home, because everybody's heard things before, you know what I mean? And people
Yeah,
know,
take massive action and all that stuff.
yeah,
That's
they've heard all the, you know, and like, man, I'm especially on these masterminds and everything and building the income streams with everybody. It's like, you can really like get a real sense of what people are going through, and it's like it's definitely redundant. Like you see people come to me with all these redundant problems, and then I'm kind of like the doctor. You know what I mean?
great, awesome stuff. Listen, Jamie, thanks so much for doing this. Again, I know that you're a busy guy and you still have some things to work out before the launch. So again, guys, I'm going to have a full written review, and I'm actually adding a huge bonus to Jamie's product. If you'll decide to pick it up through my link, again, you're going to have all the information on my blog. You can check out the full demo and review on my YouTube channel as well. If you have any questions, please let me know. And Jamie, thanks again so much for doing this. Again, this will be going live on Monday. That's January let me see here. January 13th, right at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, January 13th, Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Very, very cool. Jamie, thanks a lot, and I will see you guys in the members area or on my next review video. Ciao.
All right, see you later.